Welcome everybody. So I'll just go through how we went up and created this destruction with some debris, smoke and demolition. See another video, maybe this one. This is with the crane. Let's go about it. Here I have this axe. This is the axe. I make it smaller. I added some animation to it. This is Mexiano with some motion clip movement and re-evaluation. So I have a moving geometry. I was interested with the hand only, so I retime it and remove the rest and keep only the hand that will push through the door. Some fuse filling the interior and adding some VDB for it. Also, this is just a grid. This is the house with some windows. And this is the file. Let's start with the crane first. So this is the crane. I make it smaller. I use it in a previous tutorial. Fusing it, adding some connectivity, and taking the long wire or long parts, adding a groove and filling it up and giving it a name. I fracture it. Add some constraint. The other part also I split the process bar and did the same thing, adding a groove and adding a fracture, but the fracture is very minimum, only between the parts, and backing it. The rest of the part I don't want to add or simulate. It will be like byproduct of the main simulation. And backing it, RBD configure to make it as a metal, adding some more constraint between the parts. So constraint from formula and RBD using the same tag name, the group. So I have custom built constraints. And I add it to the simulation. The simulation I have a sphere that is colliding with the ball here. So for that the crane will collide and fall. Also here I added, where is it? I added some soft constraint so it will act like a plasticity, like a bending metal. open RBD from pieces. I rejoin the pieces back together. From this side I have the wires at the top, this wire, making a fill, a blast, remove the unnecessary points, convert the lines, and fusing it to make one line for each row, resample for more resolution, add a vellum string, and I'm welding between the points. It's breakable also. This threshold, very low threshold. And vellum match to attach to the geometry. Then adding it to the solver. And it's responding to the static volume here, and it's following like this. Now for the house, match size, filling the empty parts, adding normals back, removing any unnecessary attribute, keeping the concrete. These are the windows. For the concrete, adding the groove, fracturing it, adding the cluster, gluing the cluster also, so we have big pieces, constraint between the joints, and sending it to the RBD solver. For the glass, add the connectivity and assemble, and for each one, I'm cleaning it, giving it a normal, poly extrude, and adding a bound because it's a thin layer. And we end up with proper model for the glass to be fractured. Group, sending it to the RBD fracture, and adding the constraint and sending it to the main solver. This one, these are the frames, fusing it, boolean, so I can remove the inner parts. So no crossing, assembly and connectivity, bringing back the glass, then unpacking it. So I have the same name attribute, then fracturing it by adding constraint, send it back to the, sorry, send it forward to the RBD simulation. This I want only the top floor, so I remove all this area, removing all. I have this one, which I divided it and transformed it, and adding the floors, and then fracture it. Same principle with clustering, adding the constraints and send it to the RBD solver. This is the bottom part. I didn't use it. Here I added a constraint between each layer, the windows, the concrete, and then saving it. So I'm unpacking it, adding more constraint. From here I'm giving it all inactive as 0, and at frame 3 to be active. Here I'm giving it a string of 1000 in the box to keep some area active or inactive. Here I'm joining all it together, the house and the crane and the arm or hand here and the axe, but I was switching between and I'm simulating. This is the building. Let it fall down, giving it a material. For the large debris, I imported the building. I kept only the concrete and debris source for the smoke and the fragments. 3 shot of 2. Delete the unnecessary attribute and adding custom debris. Let's give it a second. According to the variant, randomizing the B scale and sending it to the pop solver. I'm adding speed limit, but it sends an RBD solver bullet. It will be much faster. Same thing I did. This is the VDB for the building. This is for the smoke, for the dust. We did the same thing. And I cache it because it's heavy on the machine to run. Here also I did the same with different setting. But use it as a pop solver. So together here's a lot. Then in the smoke I imported the particles pyro solver in the top net. So this is the static object, the ground, the smoke spars, added disturbance, 3 part of disturbance, confinement, dissipate, and gas vortex boost, and some wind and a volume for sourcing temperature, velocity and density. Then I cache it. And the small debris here with some point replicate and some alpha. And this is the crane imported. So I'm using BDG to run all of the simulation and the rendering to end up with this trail. Hopefully you like it. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for the support also.